rolling, camera speeding, sound speeding. Marker, stand by. Go out ADS 2024, Brother Obadeli. Take one, soft sticks, marker. Stand by.
Standing by. Hold for action. Action. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Fantastic to be here.
Thank you. Please, if you could share, what is your working definition of African-centered education from a spiritual standpoint, global standpoint, and economic standpoint?
So when you say African-centered education, we could look at it in terms of, do you mean what it is or, what perhaps it should be? Because I think there could be a distinction between those two.
I love that. Let's have both of them.
Okay. So about a year and a half ago, I did a presentation with my father who has since transitioned. That's Nana Kambon. And it was entitled African-Centered, thought. So basically people talk about African-centered, but then it comes down to African periphery behavior. So people will say they'll have African-centered consciousness, African-centered, so forth. But oftentimes the behavior itself tends to be African peripheried, right? And why we've made so little progress was, the end of the title. And, essentially what he and I argue is that a lot of times when people say African-centered, when you actually look at what's going on, it's very much African periphery. So what it is, I'll take probably a more critical perspective on it, is that oftentimes if you look at all of the things that people are calling African-centered education, it tends to be very African peripheried, in the sense that, for example, the medium of instruction is not in our languages. So it'll be English, and this is probably why I founded a Bibitumi, in large part because, my idea, I remember I was at a lecture of Nana Khalid Muhammad. So my parents had a bookstore and cultural center, that's Blacknificent Books, in the Baynou Cultural Center. And I remember after one of his lectures, I was like, that's very powerful, but how come anytime we talk about these concepts, we always have to do it in English? And, if it's not English, it's French, it's Portuguese, it's, any of those types of things. And it just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, the thing that we're saying we need to do in the very verbalization of what we're saying, we're doing the opposite of what we're saying, needs to be done. So when you look at African-centered education, and I can, speak about the United States context primarily, it tends to be in English. And then the periphery is that they may have, a class for Kiswahili or a class for Yoruba or a class. So it's like the center is very much, Eurasian, but then the periphery is where you can get something, related to black people. Even in terms of the terminology that's used, when we say African, that's problematic for multiple reasons. One is that, again, it's English, but then when you go into etymologically, it's coming from, the Roman defeat of Carthage. Cartadas is what it was called. And they decided to name their conquered province Provincia Africa Proconsularis. And, Provincia, that's a province, Africa, that's the name that they referred to it as, and then Proconsularis, saying that's under the proconsul. So you have the consul, and then you have the proconsul. This is, Roman government. And, when you try to even find what it means etymologically, I know of at least 10 proposed etymologies. No one is certain, right? So, for example, some say it comes from Ifriqiya, which is a Berber, ethnic group. Some say it comes from Ifran, which is referring to caves that are there in the Sahara. Some people say it comes from Scipio Africanus, who's the one who defeated, Nana Hannibal. Some people say, it comes from Afrique or Aprike, Greek or Phoenician for sunny or without cold. So, you have all of these different things. Some say Afruika, saying turning towards the Ka, saying that it comes from classical Kemet. But what they all have in common is that none of them tell you who the land is for, right? When you look at our own languages, when we say Kemet, we're saying land of black people. That's very clear. So now you could say African, and you could have, Arabs who are like, well, I'm African, I'm North African. You have Dutch Boers who say, I'm African, I'm South African, but they can't say we're Kemet because Kemet is literally saying black people. And Chi, when we say Abibifo, you're literally saying black people because the B is the same that you find in BDA, which is the word for charcoal, right? Similar in Kemet, the Kem is the word for charcoal. If you look at Yoruba, Du is the word for charcoal, so they say Adulawo. So to say someone who is black in color is the way to say quote unquote African. So that ties you not only to the landmass, but it also ties you to who you are. And you find in language after language, the way that we describe ourselves tends to be related to the word for charcoal. Similarly, in Kikongo, the word for black is kala, and it's also the word for charcoal, you'll see. So, you find that if we're actually quote unquote African-centered, then we wouldn't even use the word African in the first place. We'd use our own languages, and it would tell you that these are black people. So I would not even say African-centered education. I would say something like Sebayit Net Kemetiu, which is studies of black people. So Sebayit referring to instructions. So you'll have like Sebayit Net Patahotep. So that's these instructions, the studies, so forth and so on, of Patahotep, so forth and so on. So like, first, we wouldn't even say African-centered education. We would use our own language to even describe the concept itself. And even in doing so, it would tell you that this isn't studies, because people will say African studies, right? So I actually work at the Institute of African Studies. I'm an associate professor there. And when people say African, they're just referring to anything related to the continent. They're not referring to, are we talking about the indigenous black people of the continent? They're saying studies of this continent called Africa. So that's not specific. First, you have to even deal with what constituency are you talking about, because if you're talking about Sebayit Net Kemetiu, then that can incorporate IT, because those are black people, right? Kemetiu translates to black people, so that can incorporate IT. That could incorporate Mekamui, what they call Bougainville, because those are black people. It could, of course, refer to classical Kemet. It could refer to what they now refer to as Ghana. So we're talking about studies of black people, regardless of location, as opposed to studies of location, regardless of whether or not we're dealing with black people or not. Because you could talk about Algeria, you could talk about places where they still enslave. Matter of fact, look at Morocco. So look at the African Union. So 2016, Morocco applied to join the African Union and they were accepted. The same year, Haiti, what they call Haiti, applied to join the African Union and they were rejected because they said, according to the Constitutive Act of the AU, only African countries can be part of the AU. So Morocco, because it's on the continent that's called Africa, which is etymologically opaque and semantically vacuous, they can be part of the African Union, and meanwhile Haiti, but then they'll have all the stuff they talk about the sixth region. Well, what's the point of being in the sixth region when you can't be a full member and you can't vote? But meanwhile, the people in Morocco, they have the word abid, which means both black person and slave. It means the exact same thing. So, you can read news reports of, people who are from Senegal, so forth, and go there, and they're called abid, and they're beaten, and, their limbs are broken, they're, killed, they're thrown to this day, right? They're thrown out of, the balconies of windows, because oftentimes they're trying to, go to, so-called Europe, what's actually Western Eurasia, and they'll pass through Morocco, and then they have to, deal with all these types of things. So, to answer the question, what is African-centered education? What it is, it tends to be very much periphery, and I can go deeper into why it's periphery. No problem. And then, just to the question of what it should be, some people say, well, African-centered education, it even brings up the question of, should it be anything different than what it actually is, which is really, quote-unquote, periphery, because if you're not even using our words, if you're not even using, so if you look at, the word African-centered education, so look at education, this is coming again from Latin educere, which is like to bring out, or educere, to basically bring something out of a person. That's the idea of education. But, it's like, all right, well, why are we juggling, Eurasian conceptions of reality, Greco-Roman conceptions of reality, and we're trying to give some type of deep meaning into it, as opposed to if we're looking at in our own languages. So, for example, in Yoruba, the word ko translates to both teach and to learn, right? So you'll find that, even black people in the snakes will say, let me learn you how to tie your shoes, boy, right? There's a concept that these two are not separate, that to teach is to learn and to learn is to teach. Now imagine you have to, go through some type of conceptual framework to explain this. In the language, it's